The other thing that's important to know, John, is that the Republicans think they have maybe found an attack line when it comes to Minneapolis in 2020, right? And during the George Floyd uprisings, and the fact that, yes, a police precinct was burned during that time. This is obviously when Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 people in supposed self-defense. And so they think they have an attack line. You can hear a little bit of that in this clip from Ben Shapiro, where he's trying to bring in that line. Take a look.
According to Kamala Harris, the relevant stuff about Tim Walz is not that he presided over the burning down of Minneapolis and, in his own words, abjectly failed to stop that from happening. It's not that he has praised socialism. It's that if you go back far enough, he was a high school football coach. And don't you know, he's a teacher and a high school football. He's basically Mr. Feeney, but more athletic. He's like Ed Asner, avuncular, moderate, just one of the boys. You know, a guy who can crack a beer and can shoot a rifle, but is also really, really in favor of gun control and transing the kids. That's basically the pitch in favor of Tim Walz.
Transing the kids, there we have. Big into transing the kids. There's a very unhinged Ben Shapiro trying to land an attack. And he did mention the Minneapolis burning, and Trump's also followed suit. And yet, oh boy, apparently there's a phone call where Donald Trump is praising Tim Walz during the 2020 George Floyd uprisings over his handling of the protests in Minneapolis. Because after all, Trump was president when that happened. Take a listen.
I know Governor Walz is on the phone, and we spoke, and I fully agreed with the way he handled it the last couple of days. I asked him to do that, and the whole world was laughing. 2 days, 3 days later, I spoke to the governor. The governor's, I think, on the call, and he's an excellent guy.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
He is an excellent guy, John.
I will just say, I was very excited to see that. And in the words of Logan Paul, after he finds out that he accidentally spread misinformation about Monty Khalif, oopsies. We found out that you actually praised Tim. Well, again, it's so fake. They don't mean any of it. They don't care about it. And even if everything that they said about Tim Walz when it came to the city was true, it would be nothing. It wouldn't be a speck compared to Donald Trump's utter failure in 2020. The only reason they're focusing on it isn't because they think it represents his ability to be an effective executive. Nobody questions that. He got 1 billion bills passed. It's just to inspire racism. That's all it is. They want people to think about, rampaging hordes of black and brown people and the white men who don't have the courage to shut them down. That's all this is about.
Well, it's definitely about racism. I just want to play one more piece of this, which is Stephen Miller, Trump's advisor, somehow continues to be, his blanket fort's very intact. They moved it from the Oval Office to his home. And here he is talking about Tim Walz. And again, got an even more racist angle than you can imagine.
He is the biggest booster in the whole country for unlimited refugee resettlement. That means under the Harris-Walz plan, they're going to turn the entire Midwest into Mogadishu. That's their plan, that's their policy. I don't think there's a market for that in the United States of America.
Going to turn the whole country into Mogadishu. That'd be very difficult. Mogadishu is the capital of Somalia. Minnesota has one of the largest Somali American communities. So there you go. Honestly, John, I feel like that was like maybe the best attack line, which is also the most racist attack line, which we know is not really working for them. But at least it's got that anti-immigrant flair to it. But yeah, it's all clunking here.
Yeah, look, they obviously would love to be able to get the election to be back about, inflation and migrant crime and immigrants and all that. So maybe this helps a little bit in bringing them to that. I guess, I don't know. Stephen Miller remains, for anyone other than the most hardcore MAGA person, a really bad messenger, because you look at his face and man, we were talking about like a joyless political movement. Like, it is hard to imagine a smile creeping across that snake's face. Maybe briefly, like when he remembers the fact that endometriosis is a thing, that gives him a little bit of pleasure to think about people suffering. But other than that, I don't think that he's physically capable. It's a weird movement that they're a part of. But anyway, and on Ben Shapiro, like, first of all, why is he so sweaty? I know that you didn't exercise. Why are you so sweaty? Is it because you're thinking about trans people again? Take a shower and think before you speak.
Yeah.
Speed of like speaking is not a replacement for actually making a good point. Like, they don't know how to deal with a Tim Walz. They have been trying to create a myth of populism on the right for a long, long time, and it is paper thin. There is nothing there. There is no substance. Tim Walz, in his experience, has accomplished more than every single one of these right-wing populists has in actually delivering for working people.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I have to just play this because, you know, it's hard to have a line when your opponent has so many good ones. And here's Tim Walz at the rally in Philadelphia with just a beautiful, beautiful joke.
His running mate shares his dangerous and backward agenda for this country. J.D. Vance literally wrote the foreword for the architect of the Project 2025 agenda. Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, J.D. studied at Yale, had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on! That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there?
That to me was the kicker on that, John. Like, you see what I did there?
You see what I did there? Yeah, you're giving a speech. We're all paying attention to you, buddy.
No,
but
there. Like,
I know.
Just in case you didn't think this was a reference to the myth that JD Vance sleeps with couches. See what I did there? Just so funny. And I see some people who are like, this is unbecoming. If this were like, if this were a Republican, we would all say that this was defamation. And they're like, shut up.
Yep. Oh, you know, there's a media article.
It's a joke. It's a joke based on a joke, based on a stupid meme. Let us have some fun. But the rest of the takedown, yeah, man, he is the farthest from a so-called hillbilly that you could ever be. He was bankrolled by Peter Thiel. He is a venture capitalist himself, and now he works for them. They are his creation. They groomed him for this.
And if I could make one meta point about the choice of Walz, that I think it's one of the reasons that I think Trump's week has been going so poorly. Like, they love to stress that you have to choose the right people. It's a sign of a good executive or whatever. And obviously Trump has not done that, which is why like 75% of the people that served in his cabinet are not endorsing him for president again. And he tried to have one of them hung. But so Trump chose JD Vance, and within like 72 hours, you had a ton of Republicans being like, oh God, that was a bad choice. What are we doing here? He's wildly unpopular. And then meanwhile, she chooses Walz. They've raised more than $40 million in like a day and a half off of it. And everyone is super excited about it. Like, they've only during the campaign had to make a couple of choices, and Harris has proven herself far more capable in that. And people were already way more excited about her candidacy than about Donald Trump. And now you've doubled down on that. This has just not been a good month since then. Like, literally ever since the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, they thought that was gonna be a great moment. They thought the election was won, and a lot of people did. It has been all downhill from there for the right.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below, because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.